work because he needed to recover, and of course also needed money to treat himself into recovery. But I guess the employer couldn't quite manage his absence at work, and then of course laid him off. And so the guy had to go to the press to tell that story. So while I was trying to figure out whether these kinds of things are still happening in Nigeria, I came by a story that was reported in 2023 that somewhere in Abuja, there's this black market thing happening where young, innocent Nigerians are approached, young, poor, innocent Nigerians are approached to sell their kidneys. That was 2023, when you could still manage your resource. Now I'm thinking, what exactly is happening black market-wise in Nigeria? I'm thinking, this kidney sale, is it still ongoing? I mean, we hear of women being traded into prostitution, sent into other countries. And sometimes we get that opportunity where one big story makes it into the news, and then there is a collective reaction. But when you just sit in the silence of your own mind, you realize that there are probably a number of black markets happening in Lagos today, in Nigeria, pardon me, in Nigeria, where there is all kinds of illicit, illegal trades happening. So I wanted to just bring this conversation to the fore. I guess one is to sensitize the Nigerian public that as things get harder, black market trades are going to come to the fore. And God alone knows what's being sold in these black markets, in these black streets. But the reason this conversation is necessary is to draw public awareness. It's also to draw awareness to the disadvantages of many of these black market trades and how the offer may seem appetizing initially, but consequently you realize they've pretty much even cheated you out of the deal. One, because there isn't much public awareness. You see that. Two, you have only gotten the short end of the stick, and worse, it's not going to fix your problems. So that's a conversation I would love for us to have. I think I'm going to ask that if you know any of the black market schemes out there in town, from Lagos to Abuja to Umuahia to Zamfara, let's talk about it. And I think this is supposed to educate people. That's really, for me, the focal point of what I believe should be what informs our conversation this afternoon. That, and then we need to talk about AI. My people, I am trying to catch up with advancement. I am literally trying every week to catch up with one thing. And before I even fully understand what the physics of this new technological advancement is, science shows up with something else. Brothers and sisters, they're printing ear, kidney, they're printing eye. The last one I was reading, they say that they have now created a kind of contact lens that a person can wear and you can see in the dark. In fact, they say that the contact lens can allow you see even when you close your eyes. And in my head, I am wondering, what is the use of if I close my eyes? Most certainly, I don't want to see anything. Why do I have the offer or the opportunity of a contact lens that helps me see even when I close my eyes? A contact lens that helps me see in the dark. Am I looking at something or am I looking at a ghost? What exactly is science aiming for? Now remember, I also told you about a few weeks ago that I'm utterly fascinated, in the negative to be honest, about this whole AI hospital. And of course, the way science is going, the way companies are trying to maximize profit, it does quite appear. From AI teaching your children, AI schools, to AI hospitals, I'm even hearing that there's a possibility of an AI church. Let's talk about I think it's most critical today. Then maybe next week we'll talk about AI education. But today, AI hospitals. I've been pushing that topic back for about 2 or 3 weeks now. It's about time we have that conversation. Would you submit yourself to the cold hands of machine to diagnose, to cater, to treat your diseases? Because we're there. I know you're not ready for it. I think you're probably, like myself, need a moment to fully comprehend what it is you think you're hearing. But we're there. So you're going to wake up one day And maybe it's not going to come to Africa just quickly because we're not necessarily investing in the knowledge of, advancement, technological advancement. We're more caught up in politics. While the people are hungry, our elites, the politicians, are caught up with 2027. You would think 2027 is next week. You would think all of this is happening because in the next 2-3 months, something grand is happening to define the future of Nigerians. While Nigerians are scouring, looking for bread to eat, here we are gathered to talk about the ambition of a few. Well, I don't know how fortunate we are to have this opportunity, but at least we're going to use this opportunity to talk about something. The coalition. I was reading yesterday, and of course this morning, and the coalition, and I'm thinking Nigeria as a country needs to invest in human capital. We are not. Nothing guarantees the certainty of a future form of greater poverty than a total lack of investment in human capital. But I guess I'm preaching to the choir. I'm preaching to the choir. In fact, the choir, or a part of the choir, is not even present for this sermon. I want to believe that those who are in governance should know these things, that they should move with the times, that they should equip the people to be dignified human beings, not just for today, but for tomorrow. And for a dignified society, you need a people who see the utility in being dignified. Okay, so that's for science. But first, I guess we're going to have to properly manage time allotted to us so that we can touch on every necessary conversation this afternoon. First, you go to the headlines this afternoon, from Punch to Daily Trust to Premium Times. The headlines are reading 2027 Crossfire. APC strikes back at Mark and Lamido. The APC government is promising that they will all be defeated come 2027. Another headline, Rhodes Viva backs Tinubu Obi coalition to unseat Tinubu. The Premium Times is saying Atiku-led opposition coalition adopts the ADC to challenge Tinubu. And Daily Trust is reporting coalition settles for ADC, picks Mark Aregbesola to coordinate the anti-Tinubu battle. Ladies and gentlemen, while we're trying to look for money to complete the rent, trying to figure out what school and how our kids are going to go to school fed, while we're particularly for parents who are very particular about education, while you're concerning yourself with education and the kind of education your children should have, well, there's a coalition. While men sleep, some others are gathering to create a force formidable enough to upset the incumbent administration. Let's talk then on Nigeria Info. So finally, it does quite appear that the men who are the bulls and the bulls with the horns appear to be going at it, as the coalition meant to oust the current president Bola Tinubu, from power gains momentum. The All Progressive Congress has asserted that the president will emerge victorious in the 2027 elections. You are thinking this is a conversation, but believe me, elephants are in the streets going at it. Let's talk. 0201-2770-993, 0201-465-7190, and on WhatsApp 08095975805. This coalition, what is your take on this coalition? Remember, these are faces we're all too familiar with. Let's look at what the Premium Times is reporting. They say in a significant shift in Nigeria's political landscape, Atiku Abubakar-led opposition coalition has formally adopted the African Democratic Congress, ADC, as its new platform to challenge the president, Bola Tinubu's re-election in 2027. For some very interesting reason, it does quite appear that nobody wants Tinubu to have a second term. And Tinubu, I guess he is about his wits, is insisting that he is here for the fight. The decision, reached after a marathon meeting while men sleep. A few were having marathon meeting that stretched into the early hours of Wednesday, followed delays by the Independent National Electoral Commission. You're full familiar with that one and all the drama it presented you in your last opportunity and engagement with it. Well, it was said the delays by the Independent National Electoral Commission in registering the coalition's preferred party, ADA, the All Democratic Alliance. To lead this new phase, the coalition appointed seasoned political figures as interim leaders. Former Senate President David Mark as national chairman, ex-Osun State Governor and former Tinubu ally Rauf Aregbesola as national secretary, and former Minister of Youth and Sports Bolaji Abdullahi as spokesperson. This development signals a strategic consolidation of opposition forces ahead of the 2027 general elections with experienced hands at the helm. The coalition aims to present a credible and united alternative to the ruling party, the APC. So I guess in this very moment, the active words would be, experienced hands at the helm of this new party, and this coalition, this force called the new party, aims to present a credible and united alternative to the ruling party, the APC. Let's talk on the sunny side. We'll hold this to be worthy of note. And who knew that we would be talking about 2027 so early? Who knew? One would wonder what's more important, collective social development or elections, the ambition of a few. You're on the sunny side. My name's Joyce. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Joyce, good afternoon.
Thank you for calling. Go ahead.
My name is Sunday, calling from Bariga. Joyce, I keep saying this. The government of the day, not only the government, the politicians are not ready to consider the fact that where they are today, people went outside, stood in the sun, in the rain, and voted into power. They don't need us. Rather, they want to make sure that for them to be able to claim all the blessing that God has blessed this country for themselves and their families as well. Look, we are just keep shouting for nothing. I keep saying this, 2027, if you look at the game that is on the ground, the president has already succeeded, buying judiciary, all sort of this thing that he knows that they will support him fully. He has changed some people now, like INEC, this thing, according to what I had. He has replaced another person, which is supposed not to be. And tell me, how will that person now turn back and do him a favor? No. Judiciary, the army, everywhere. He has silenced them. Nobody's able to talk.
Let me ask you, do you think this new coalition is going to be capable of upsetting the APC? Because it looks like all the effort now is going right there. All the effort of our politicians just appears to be is being sunk into this new coalition. What do you suppose are their chances?
Well, what I can say about is this. When you look at the situation, all the governors, look at like in my state, the governor is now joining APC. Confusion here and there. So tell me, as they left and they are living with their own people, how will 2020 something election be successful when these people are already backing him up? Everybody back him up. Why? Because they want to be free of what they embezzle, all the money that they embezzle. They know that this man, whatever happens, if they refuse to join him, and then at the end of the day, he will now turn out and probe them all the money that they embezzle. And that's why you see them running. Come, if you have sinned, join APC, we will forgive you.
All right.
And what is happening today? So that is it. It can never work.
Okay.
So 2027, whether we are going out to vote or not, who is going to be there is already there. Until, I don't know, when Nigeria will come together, and even if we come together, when they put policemen with tear gas, the army, everything, and then who will be the person that will be able to withstand them? That's the end of the whole thing.
Thank you so much for calling. I really do appreciate. Anybody realize that the PDP has lost all its frontmen? Yeah, have you realized that with this new coalition? So the PDP will no longer be that pale horse anymore, that solid up, well, no longer the opposition, because given this drama unfolding before our eyes, the same men who made up the party are shifting carpets or cross-carpeting to create another kind of party. Somehow, we're supposed to believe that not their character, not their force, but a new party can truly upset the APC. What are their chances? What are their chances? What do you suppose? Is this something to give the people of Nigeria hope? Because we shouldn't just be speaking about the ambition of a few men. Do you suppose that this gathering, this opposition, is truly here to serve the Nigerian people? This is a familiar script now, isn't it? My name's Joyce. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Yeah, good afternoon, Joyce.
Good afternoon. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
Yeah, first of all...
what is your name? Tell us your name, and then you go ahead.
Madoka from Festa. Hello?
Go ahead.
Madoka from Festa. Now, NGS come from heaven. The same politicians will do that. So it's a very good, it's a laudable development. It's a very good step in the right direction. But the only thing that can distinguish them from the regular thing we used to have is if they move away from the concept of manifesto, generalized manifesto, to a roadmap. 4 years roadmap. This is what you're going to do to develop the economy. This is what you're going to do, develop the economy of the North, the economy of the, in terms concrete, Nigerians will begin to see. This is what we expect. Otherwise, you come in, sleepwalk like the others, like Jonathan, like this, without just manifesto, and they come to the office and start gathering, speaking to Manufacturer Association of Nigeria. What are you going to do? Already develop it before you go in. You go in, you start from the first day. Everywhere things will be happening.
Let me ask you.
But otherwise,
you have to allow me to ask you this question. I'm not even sure how old you are, but how many manifestos have you been given in your lifetime? How many have you read? How many have you read? How many has been marketed to you? You seem to have a little bit more faith in the new manifesto.
No. It's not like I'm saying. We need to move away from manifesto and go towards a roadmap. Do you understand? Manifesto is generalized, it's generic. And we are going to develop the IT. We're saying specific actions that you're going to do under 4 years, 8 years. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
If you're saying we're going to develop, we're going to turn the northern Nigeria into agricultural base, are you going to use cooperative? Are you going to gather the youth into cooperative? What are you going to do? The processing, specific action plans. It's not just generic. We are going to do this. We're going to do. What are you going to do specifically? You move away. Peter Obi was adored because he moved away from the norm. This party is good, but they should move away from the norm.
Okay.
That's my position.
So you think they have a chance against the APC at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
But if they provide the same manifesto, then they're not anything different from Tinubu now.
All right.
Or the other people, or Jonathan or Buhari, it's the same manifesto.
Okay.
Give us specific action plans. We'll go with you.
Thank you so much for calling. I do appreciate. 99.3 Nigeria Info, you on the sunny side. It's so good to have you join the conversation. Hello.
Yeah, Joyce, good afternoon.
Afternoon to you.
This is Chris calling from Ikui.
Welcome, Chris. Go ahead.
Joyce, thank you very much. The question you asked, how many men to start manifesto? Look
manifesto? What
Look at. I said you are asking the man now. How many? Is it what you call it? Manifesto or what they say they want
Manifesto.
to?
Manifesto.
Manifesto. You are expecting from that. How many? Is it today? Is it this one that said the light? He will provide light. If you don't give him light, don't do whatever. Don't vote me second time, or he will give you reason. Is it Buhari that tell all the grammar, speak all the grammar? I will build for new refinery. I will reactivate the four old ones. I will stop in killing a Boko Haram 3 months. All our stories, Akeko. Look at the guy in Abia, your state. How many stories he tell before he start hitting the ground running? I hear in the news they say David Mark dump PDP. If people they dump PDP now, people like David Mark. Go to his place in Benue. The road to his father's house, no road. He has been the Senate president for how many years? Today I'm hearing he dumped the PDP. I say, look at if people they dump PDP now, people like David Mark. And thank God for those who rejected the guy from Osun State, the former governor of Osun. If Nigerians can be doing this, we don't need all this their story. Go there, hit the ground running.
What are their chances? What do you think their chances are? Because they seem to be taking it seriously, and the people of Nigeria must take it equally as seriously. You know, I think the Nigerian needs to take it as seriously as they take it, because you are the determining force. Forget what they tell you. You are the force that determines what will become of Nigeria tomorrow.
Joyce, you are right, too. But in Nigeria, you know the way we do our things here.
I don't know the way we do our things. I think that the only reason things have remained the way that they have remained is because we're docile and we choose not to do anything.
No. For me, I don't need all those their story. Go there, hit the ground running. That is what I want.
Do they have a chance? Do they have a chance against the APC?
No, for APC,
does the party have a chance against the APC?
They suppose, but you know the way we do our things here.
God, you're confusing me. All right, then, thank you so much for calling. I do appreciate. Thank you.
The ball is in our court, Joyce. We are more in number, please. We are more in number. Who can stop him?
Thank you.
We will wrestle him to the ground. All this they say nobody can defeat him. Who tell you that?
Well, I wish you had as much faith as you had such a loud voice. Thank you so much for calling.
Joyce.
I really do appreciate. Okay, Lagos, 99.3 Nigeria info you on the sunny side. We'll hold it to be worthy of note. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon, sister.
Thank you for being here.
Sister, your first caller said that we are not talking. Nobody says to join Nigeria for 1 month. We that have been talking the same thing since 5 days. If somebody could just come, we are not talking. If pastors no talk, we are talking. Nigerians, I want to tell you that Tinubu have traveled 40 times. This one when you go Caribbean. Some content for people that will say we shouldn't forget or we don't know anything. Sister, this is the time Nigerians will talk. Coalition, ADC, they have rights. How the president emerged victorious where he has turned Nigeria into Babuta Triangle and upside down? But it is the same coalition 2014 that have entered Nigeria into Babuta. Tinubu has elect judiciary, police and army. That's why he's also supposed to say that he is going to return unopposed. Sister, Nigerians are not talking about why they off FIFA. 25th, 5:30, February 2025 presidential election. Lawmakers don't have the willpower to strike off and make chairman appointment, NJC president appointment, even police AIG, because you don't have right because they have commission. But it's unfortunate that we are talking about 2027 now. It's too early. Whereby terrorists have surrounded Nigerians. Oh, they've got 2 tellers of terrorists.
Okay.
They are not laying landmines in Olo.
So you must please attempt to answer the question.
So that cotton corn in Enugu fresh. What am I? You are talking about 2027. Did I hear what I'm saying? Hello?
You have 10 seconds more.
Thank you. If they can allow us to vote, if they can allow some to vote, if they can allow the result in the night again, if they can own visa, why don't you can buy? I can walk. According to your question.
Thank you so much. Lagos, we're off on a break. We'll be right back.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this. Every day is about winning with one play on Nigeria Info. On Nigeria Info Daily Winnings is now over 150,000 naira. Just go to oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lash Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
We're back. We're Nigeria Info. You on the sunny side will hold it to be worthy of note. And it's rather noteworthy to see the dimensions that our political patterns take every time we talk about the difficulties in this country. I want to know what you think about this new coalition, whether it benefits you as a Nigerian, will benefit you as a Nigerian. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Yeah, Jez, good afternoon.
Afternoon to you. What's your name?
This is Genesis calling from Corridor.
Good to have you. Good to have you on the show.
Okay. Now the coalition, we take Tinubu out by 2027. If they can only allow Obi to lead as presidential candidate. Apart from that, I don't think it will work out because all our hope now lies on Peter Obi. Because the rest of them, we believe that, they don't have the feelings of Nigeria, that they're just for their pocket. But with Peter Obi, it will do something good for us. So there's a possibility Tinubu may not go for the second time, 2027.
Okay, so you think Peter Obi is a spark of hope left in the hearts of the Nigerian?
Sure.
All right. We're watching them play it out. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Thank you. Because, these are men with an insatiable appetite for power. So one wonders, do you think any one of them is willing to accede power? Welcome. This Ibok Eddie Daniels. Isn't this too long? Let's try. You say, only if Peter Obi leads the coalition to unseat Tinubu in 2027. As 2027 approaches, I suggest that the coalition may only succeed if it rallies behind a widely accepted, credible candidate. That's Mr. Peter Obi. Obi, known for his integrity, youth appeal, and issue-based politics, stands out as the only figure with cross-party acceptance strong enough to unite both disgruntled PDP forces, Labour Party loyalists, and aggrieved APC factions. Many believe that with him as the face of the alliance, Tinubu holds no power, could be seriously threatened. Not sure what that is, but you say, Tinubu hold, pardon me, I'm the one at error here. You say Tinubu's hold on power could be seriously threatened, but the real challenge is whether Nigeria's political elite can put ego and ambition aside to support a candidate who truly represents change. Without unity around Obi or someone like him, Tinubu's re-election may still be an unfortunate reality. Beautifully put together there by Ibok Eddie Daniels, 99.3 Nigeria Info. If you're on the telephone line, just give me a moment. I'm going to come to you. I need to go through this particular message before the break. This one say, okay, from Lucky. Hey, Joyce, black market trades. Okay, good. In a short moment, we'll go into the black market trades. I really want to know what you know. And I think for the benefit of the Nigerian public or the listening public, people know what the black market trades are in order to brace themselves up in the event that some terrible thing crosses their path. They're wise enough, smart enough, aware enough to put up a sensible fight. We'll be right back. We're 99.3. This is Nigeria Info. You're on the sunny side. My name's Joyce. We hold it to be worthy of notes. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Information at its peak. This is 99.3 Nigeria Info. I'm listening.
It's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
update on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
You are listening to the news updates this hour. Former Senate President David Mark has quit the PDP, citing deep divisions and failed leadership. In a letter to his ward in Benue, he said the party is now a shadow of its former self. Mark plans to serve as interim chairman of the soon-to-be-launched ADC platform. Meanwhile, a faction of the ADC has rejected Rauf Aregbesol's appointment as interim national secretary. This follows the Atiku-led coalition's adoption of the party for 2027. ADC spokesperson Dr. Musa Matara says party leaders weren't consulted and warned against attempts to hijack the party. He urged members to resist moves that ignore grassroots input. Meanwhile, the APC says President Tinubu will win in 2027, calling the opposition coalition dead on arrival. Spokesman Bala Ibrahim made the comment as Atiku Abubakar, David Mark and others meet in Abuja to form a united front. The coalition plans to adopt the African Democratic Congress as its platform for the next election. On the foreign scene, a Ugandan military helicopter with 8 people on board crashed at Mogadishu's airport in Somalia. Officials say it caught fire after landing from Balidogle Air Base, but the blaze was quickly contained. No casualty figures yet, and the cause is under investigation. Jihadist fighters launched coordinated attacks on army posts in 7 towns across Mali. The army says it repelled the assaults, killing over 80 militants and recovering weapons and vehicles. Al-Qaeda-linked group JNIM claims it seized 3 barracks, but casualty details remain unclear. This marks the 3rd major attack in a month, raising fresh concerns over rising insecurity in Mali and the wider Sahel region. And a landmark inquiry says British colonists committed genocide against indigenous people in Victoria, Australia. The URUK Justice Commission found that violence and disease wiped out most of the population within 20 years of colonization in the 1830s. The report, part of Australia's reconciliation efforts, made 100 recommendations to address historic harm. And that's all the updates we have for you at this time. It is back to the sunny side right here at 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am Yvonne Archival. Thank you for your time.
Tick, says the clock. What we have to do today is worthy of note.
This is Sunny Side with Joyce, only on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
And we are back. 99.3 Nigeria Info is so good to have you here. Thank you very, very much for being with us. It's 3 minutes past 1 p.m. My name's Joyce. Okay, so if you were uninterested this time last year, it does quite look as though whatever is happening is supposed to pique your interest. Now you are forced to become aware of how and what your future will entail, what it's going to look like, who is vying to be the one that calls the shots. You must look at your today to attempt a comprehension of your tomorrow. If your yesterday was anything to go by, these patterns are repeating themselves again. So you hear of the big heads quitting the old party and coming together to form a new party. And there's a back and forth. And these are men who never truly find themselves in places of conflict. Conflict not the way that you expect it to be. Because isn't it always surprising how many parties, 20 plus parties, 40 plus parties, but they all hang out together. They go to each other's children's weddings. They go to each other's book lunches. They hang out together. They eat pounded yam in each other's houses. They cut cake together. They celebrate anniversaries together. This is worthy of note. Welcome to Nigeria Info. Well, there's a new party on the block. Do you think they have what it takes to upset the APC? My name's Joyce. Welcome. Let's talk. Hello. How are you?
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Afternoon. You're on Nigeria Info.
How are you today?
Well, grateful. Thank you.
All right. My name is Perry. I'm calling from Awoyaya.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, nations are making visible marks, with AI while inventing all manner of machines. Youths, young people are inventing all manner of machines as we speak all over the civilized world. And our political leaders are balabooling all over the place, messing up everything and everybody. And then so unfortunate. And secondly, talking about the coalition, in the first place, there are credibility challenges because of precedents. We have some of them who have personal issues. Is it not David Mark who said cell phones are not for poor people? Is it not David Mark? And a couple of others whom we know. I don't think this kind of coalition will work except and unless Nigerians would wake up and take it by force as we queue behind, just one credible person. For now, amongst all of them, I can only see a Peter Obi as a credible person that Nigerians will queue behind. And if we do so, I can bet you, Tinubu will be history. We'll do so deliberately and collectively as a people. Because everybody's angry with these characters presently. Forget the judiciary, the INEC, the security forces. They should be prepared for the final resistance from Nigerian people. Enough is enough. So I think we need to begin to come together as a people and work as a people if we really want the liberation of this country from these characters who are embarrassing everybody. I feel so ashamed of being a Nigerian with the kind of things that we hear every day that these people are doing deliberately with all manner of they prone this thing to no more caution, nothing, no shame. They just do things as they like. No accountability. Everything just done. Nothing will happen. That nothing will happen. Kind of character. Attitude. Nothing will happen. They just do anyhow they like. It cannot continue like this. So I think Nigeria should wake up and queue behind a credible candidate and take it by force.
Let's see what happens. As long as Nigerians are aware.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling me. I really do appreciate it. The sunny side, your Nigeria info. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Thank you for being here. Go ahead. Tell us your name.
Joyce, it's Emmanuel. I'm speaking to you from the press. That I will be 100% accurate if they will unseat the APC in 2027. I can't tell you for now, because a lot of things will need to come into play. There are some people who are in this coalition who I'm not that satisfied with, not because they have baggage, but because they might be moles in the coalition. Example is El-Rufai, example is Aregbesola, example is Fayemi, and so on. Because there was a statement credited to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He said to somebody that if he is sleeping and Aregbesola is coming with a knife, don't wake me up. That means if I'm sleeping and Aregbesola is coming with a knife in his hand, don't wake me up. I am sure he is never going to hurt me. Now, the fallout between Aregbesola and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I don't know how factual is it. It is, and how intense it is, because a friend today might be a foe tomorrow. Now, that is an angle to it, being moles, intruders, or so on. Now, another angle is funds, and another angle is people within the government. How badly do they want the government to go away? Because you must, some people in the government must want the fall of the government by all means. I'm talking about some people in the military, some people in the financial sector, and so on. And then some people within the APC itself as a political party. And I know that is in play. How intense they want the government to go away, I don't know.
What about the Nigerian people? You give zero credit to the Nigerian people for their capability and force to determine anything.
You see, election in Nigeria. you need the big faces, the big pockets before the people comes in.
Well, you didn't even put the people on your list. It almost suggests as though you don't even think that they are worth any regard.
Joyce, I was going to go there.
Well,
But
we don't
you
have
see
time
this
for
way.
you to decide when you are going to go there. I want to thank you so much for calling me.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. I want the people to know that the people determine what happens, if it happens, where it happens, how it happens. It's just that, corruption and hunger appears to numb down the obvious. I think it deems the light of reason. It intersects with your ability for critical judgment or assessment of a picture. I mean, I even think poverty, I don't even think, as much as I know, that poverty has the capability of forcing you into a situation where you can deny the obvious if there's a benefit for you by the end of that denial. And I want to say that's exactly what we see within the Nigerian society, where just hunger, where avarice, where greed, where selfishness, where hate has driven people to make decisions that I don't know whether they have hit regret yet or they will hit regret later. But whatever this chaos is all the making of human nature. So yeah, now we're talking about men who have their human nature about them and are fighting for 2027 because honestly, this is a fight. I want to welcome the Nigerian into the ring because I don't know how much faith you have in yourself, but I say it to you from here that you are certainly a solid opponent in that ring as well to determine if it will be, how it will be. We'll hold it to be worthy of note. Welcome to the sunny side. What is your name? Good to have you here.
Hello.
Thank you for being here. Good afternoon. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
My name is Lawrence.
Welcome, Lawrence.
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Afternoon to you.
I will just go straight to the point. There are three factors that will come into play in 2027. The factor is the South, the North, then you bring in the institutions, INEC and the judiciary. Let me just go into details. Now, politicking in the South is quite different from the way politicking is done in the North. An OB candidate is very strong, but OB going to that election in 2027 will not win us the victory we expect. So it needs a strong participant in the North. The individual that had that followership happened to be the former president, Buhari, who we know carries about 12 million votes of the North. Now, he cannot contest the election anymore. The second person that we feel can be able to deliver that is Atiku. So for an election of 2027 to become victorious for Nigerians, personally as I reason it, we need an OB and an Atiku coalition. That is the only way. And of course, having said that, we should look at the institutions as they are at the moment, INEC and the judiciary. We are witnesses of what happened in the last election, 2023, and the after effect of that election, the role of the INEC chairman and the role of the judiciary. I'm talking about the Supreme Court. So I want to say before 2027, the coalition should begin to look at reforms that will necessarily begin to filter into INEC, the appointment of the chairman of INEC, and again, who announces the result? What are the factors that should be put into place in the reforms before an election result is announced? Then number two, the judiciary. Who appoints the CJN? Who appoints the judges in the Supreme Court? That is a factor now in Nigeria. So something has to be done quickly. Otherwise, the equivalent, the way we see things right now, is likely going to come back in 2027. That is my own contribution.
Quite
Thank you,
simply
George.
put.
Bye.
Thank you so much for calling me. I do appreciate 99.3 Nigeria Info. You are listening to the sunny side. We're live streaming on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. My name's Joyce. I'm taking your remarks on politics in Nigeria is just so interesting. You wake up one day, that big boy over there is trying to be a big boy over here. So now the new party on the lips of everybody I mean, the ADA didn't work. The ADC might just work, but it's the same old characters. Well, what are their chances at taking down, well, upsetting the APC? How are you? So good to have you join our conversation this afternoon. Thank you for being here.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon to you. Thank you so much for calling
this
me.
is Ben
What's your name?
from Surulere.
Great.
Yeah, so I believe was it the third caller before the last, didn't quickly factor in Nigerians, because the fact is a lot of machinery has been put in place to disenfranchise Nigerians. I have a boy, a friend of mine, a young friend of mine, who was flogged off the polling queue during the last elections. We saw what happened. We saw people coming out to threaten voters not to come out. We saw these things. So in as much as the people have the power, I still think that the power has been seized, has been entrapped from the people to use. Then you mentioned poverty. My dear sister, may God not let us see poverty that will make us do things we hate. There are people who have gone beyond that point. Judas sold Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, who he saw walk on water for silver, and Judas was not poor. So imagine people who are in abject poverty, whose children are dying in hospital, whose landlords are on their necks. They would make wrong choices, because survival is the first basic instinct of any human being. But that is not to justify what is happening. That is not to say we still cannot make a difference. We can make a difference, even if it means dying to make that difference. But then, let the people in power, let those around the people in power do the right thing. Let us we can be like the West. We are the earliest civilization, for Christ's sake. We can be better than the West. Let them just do right. Let them think right. Let them not think of themselves and their families alone. Let them think of Nigeria as a whole. Think of Nigeria today in the next 100, 200, 300 years. That is what I think will help this country. And for the coalition, I don't know everybody to their bedrooms, but so far so good. Peter Obi seems to be the most viable candidate. And if they would agree to work together, I think they stand a chance. We stand a chance, because I am with the coalition. Thank you.
That says we stand a chance. Thank you so much for calling me. I really do appreciate 99.3 Nigeria Info. You on the sunny side. It's good to have you join the conversation.
We call it from Ikeja.
Thank you so much, Obi. Welcome.
Joyce, this is a coalition. I'm partially excited. Why? Why I'm partially excited? It takes a thief to catch a thief. See all these old politicians that are in this coalition, I think the only good thing I see here is that, the issue of rigging and manipulations might be difficult for APC. That is only good news I have here, because the whole tricks, what happened in 2023, they know, all of them, they know this, they have been in the game for a long time. If they can just agree 70% to work together, then control that side of manipulation of results and all those things they do to you in the nation, I think we are good to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling me. The sunny side. Good afternoon to you. Oh, sorry, I lost Jamaica back. Nigeria Info. Hello.
Hello, Joyce.
Thank you for being here. Tell me your name. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is one of the Bolu.
Good to have you.
You see, Joyce, as long as this man still the INEC chairman, this Mahmoud or something, I don't know the name they call him, still as chairman of INEC, nothing good will come out there. But remember the slang of during the election, to by vote, Amawole. That to say, the vote the standing on the sun and on the rain that we did on that day was just wasting of time. The man has buyed everybody there, the officers, everybody involved on that election. So if they can form together and bring out one person, either Obi or Atiku, I still trust Atiku because Atiku have Nigeria in mind. There's something that man want to accomplish. Any of the two, they can go for, but the issue is who is the chairman of INEC? That is my point. This year can change the chairman of the INEC because that man has been bought. He has been bribed. He has been bought. His life has been bought with money, so he cannot do anything good there. So So if he can change that
But you
man,
know he
I
has
know
a right
the
to
election
deny
will
that,
be.
right? You know, like the INEC, the person whom you're accusing of, corruption, has a right to deny it, and he's probably going to ask you to show him proof of that.
We know we cannot get any proof now because you are not there when they are giving them when they are getting the bribe. It can be on phone call, or it can be on a physical visit or visit me. I will do whatever I want to
I
do.
think
And
you
we
mean
are straight there.
allegedly, because you say you were not even there, so it may not even have been money necessarily. I kind of get the point, but I'm saying because you would not be able to truly prove it, you want to allege. I think you're alleging.
We can, but through our thinking and what happens, whether you vote or you no vote, we go enter. So that language is
suspect.
You get us if
Thoroughly
I
understood.
Speak a pidgin English.
Yeah.
Yes. So whether we vote or we don't vote, you go enter. That will say you have find something now. There's no need of competing with him. Anyone you are doing there, you are just wasting your time. So if
what
that
do you think
language
about the
can be
coalition
removed,
and their chances? Do you suppose
that is good. That's what I'm saying. It's very, very, very,
Thank
very
you.
good because
Thank you
the largest voter come from the north. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. I'm going to read this one. All I hear from the coalition is Tinubu this, Tinubu that. No real solutions, no concrete plans. It's just noise, and it makes one thing very clear. They are all just interested in power, not the people. This is exactly why I say Tinubu, Obi, and Atiku are all the same. Different faces, the same game. Nigerian leaders across board have never truly cared about us. It's always been about power, not progress. This is a Sheon from Yaba, says it's always been about power and not progress. Chris says, good afternoon. You should watch Sound of Freedom to see the way elites trade human parts. Okay. I think a lot more people are interested in this human part conversation. We're going to get there in a moment. Hello, Joyce. It's laughable and horrendous to think that by your callers that Pete Obi would lead this unholy and disgruntled coalition. Who told them that Pete Obi is a saint and savior of the Nigerian state? Or you say Bola Tinubu remains unbeatable. Sadly, your callers are daydreamers, unreasonable, unpatriotic, and deceitful. Anonymous from Beggar. I don't know why you call them my callers. I do not own them. They're your neighbors, they're your brothers, your teachers, your mothers, your fathers, the traders from whom you go to the market to buy things from. They are those who have come before you, or maybe those whom you have come before. We all come and we go. Nigeria is for everybody. You can't call them my callers. I do not own them. They call the show and they exercise a liberty to do so. I'm not sure why you're making this about a they and a us. You buy bread the same. You buy gari the same. You buy oil the same. You pay fees. What are you doing? It almost seems as though there is a false illusion on your reason. Come on. I'm not asking anybody to vote anyone. And even more interestingly, as Nigerians, they reserve a right. I mean, you can disagree with their choice, but they reserve a right to, and you can't quite mock them for it. You can't. Thank you so much for writing me. Hello, good afternoon to you. For me, I don't know why we're fixated on one person. The coalition has credibility issue. First of all, who's the focus here, and why do you think the focus is on one person? Because I'm a little lost here. If you can help me understand where you're coming from, it would probably just also help the conversation. You say, I'll doubt they'll make Peter Obi the front runner. Hence, if he joins them, I'll be voting for Showore. It would be hard to unseat this man with this coalition. Thank you so much for writing me. I do appreciate. There is nothing wrong with forming a formidable opposition against the APC, but there are many things wrong in adopting wrong platform to advance this noble cause. Why using ADC as platform? Why not PDP? Good question. You say, let me see, PDP that has been there since 1988. And has won and still winning elections. Why those behind this move, strengthening the PDP and settle whatever rifts going on in the party? After all, most people in the coalition were once in the PDP. I mean, this is politics, and I guess the rules are what you make them. We're off on a break. We'll be right back.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
Grab your sunglasses, beachwear, sunscreen, and head over to Ziba Beach Resort, where there is a spot with your name on it just for you and your loved ones. To book your holiday spot, visit zibabeachresort.com or call 0704 730 0013. Ziba Beach Resort, Lagos. A beachside Christmas awaits you.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Okay, the Sonny side, we're just towards the end of this conversation because we have to segue into something else. If you can hear me. Afternoon. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Pastor Fine. I'm calling from my brother.
Thank you so much for calling me.
Yeah, this coalition is really going to work, but I would have preferred if they choose like PDP, all of them join hand in PDP. Because PDP is a well-known party. Even the blind, the lame, the unlearned, they all know something about PDP. Once you call it PDP, whether they know the person that is there, they don't know the person that is there. They want to vote for him. Leaving PDP to come form another coalition, they don't know the name. It is going to affect them. But if all of them join hands and build up PDP and there pick up somebody like Peter Obi, because we are talking about the South, that is the problem of the Southern Ghana, with Peter Obi or somebody else from the South. After the president, what do you call him, Matuku can come in. Because if we don't do it that way, it is going to still affect them. But if they all form and go to PDP, nobody, not even with 10 times of people can defeat them.
Well,
but if they go to coalition,
unfortunately, a house divided cannot stand. Things fall apart because the center cannot hold.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the PDP can come together. What is it that they cannot build up?
Yeah, you are advising after the fact. You see, can you understand how distant you are from this reality that we're talking about? You are speaking nobly of a situation that has left your spot. They have another party. The men of egos have left the old and have come together to create a new. This is about power here, not necessarily morality or maybe even ethics.
Well, even if they form another coalition, listen, all of them come together, have one mind.
It looks like what they're trying to do. If they're going to succeed, that's another conversation.
Those people who left PDP, most of them were APC today. It was APC that on that PDP. They can also form the same thing they formed the PDP, APC, and unseat this man. Because if this man continues the next 4 years, Nigeria, you see people begin to people on the road, who are dead people on the road. I'm not against him, but I'm against his politics. I don't know what he didn't do anything when he was even the governor of Lagos State. He didn't do anything. We just put him there because he needed power. Momiloko or Emiloko. That's what he wants. And if you see what his citizens and citizens, you discover that he has nothing to offer. Nothing to offer. I'm not against him personally, but what he's doing is just
it's not beneficial for the Nigerian people, at least thus far. Even though he's told Nigerians to be patient, I think Nigerians have run out of patience and have run out of money too.
Of patience. Yes, we have run out of patience. 4 years, he has stopped nothing, not single thing. We can point out and say this is what Tinubu has achieved. Not in finances, not in economics, not even in the security. Nothing.
Well,
he
went to St. Lucia and offered scholarship to the students. We're going to talk about that next week. I guess that's an upside way to market Nigeria, but we're going to have to pry into that.
Most of the government that came and went, they all offered scholarships. Good Luck Jonathan offered scholarship to people outside, many people outside the country. Even through Wike, when Wike was the Minister of Education, Minister of State for Education, they offer scholarships. What does that one got to do? I don't even understand that. That is not the best option. Please let them find a way of sitting him. Let him go and rest. I feel at least he's an old man, but somebody who is clocking 90 years or over 90 years. What is he going to offer us?
Well,
thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling. I really do appreciate. But you see, it would also be good, and I'm not even holding court for anyone, to properly interrogate the motives of the political players. Because on one hand, if this administration, and I know And I do not force you to give extra faith into an administration or a manifesto that after you have given it 2 years of your life, you are persuaded that there's really nothing here, or even worse, you don't have enough life left to stand on a mandate, right? But I think it's also necessary to pry. You know how I think basically the way to put this would be, you don't want to escape the frying pan only to get into the fire. We need to look at the motive that's really driving these, for example, new formation of a new coalition of men who are of the old stock. You want to think about that. I think it's a parable with the Igbos, an adage that says, you don't teach an old dog new tricks. And so, yeah, it's just quite nuanced, but it's necessary for me to highlight it because out of your shared displeasure for the current party, you don't quite think it through, and you just assume that anything on the offing, anything that's offered, may just be a better replacement than this one. Is really worth thinking about. I want to speak to a few more people, and then we segue into this whole black market trade and what it is we can find in the dark if we go looking. Hello, Nigeria Info. How are you? I've lost you. If you would call back in the next few minutes, that'll be great on this topic. That is, hello, Nigeria Info. You're on the sunny side.
Hello. Good afternoon, George.
Afternoon to you. Thank you for being on the sunny side.
Thank you so much. Thank God bless you for the good work, for the information, for the knowledge we have gleaned from your way of experience.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I'm trying to suppose to compare all these brouhaha, in our political system. Now we're talking about PDP and all that. Like the last caller said, personally, I would have preferred, for example, Joy. Let's example. Now a man that there is crisis in your house. You understand? You don't leave it. You try as much as you can to solve the problem. I know it has lingered for long, but believe me, there is no problem on earth that have no solution. Like that, the other caller said, the new party is new. For example, Labour Party have issues during the last election. Why? Because most of them don't even know where the polling booths are. You understand? No polling booth. The polling booth doesn't have agents. So, and that poses a major threat for the Labour Party. Now, this is a new party, but PDP have structure. They have structure that have been built over the years when they have ruled. All the nooks and crannies. Why living? Why not sustain that and solve the problem? And
let me
on?
ask
but
you. Did Obi not shock everyone? Was Obi not told that he didn't have structure? So maybe I think everybody has learned from that Obi courage that maybe it's not structure, maybe it's something else. Because he was really told that he didn't have structure and he couldn't quite, for a greenhorn, that he couldn't quite go the distance. But imagine how he turned out. So maybe I think they have learned that they undermined him and he pretty much disappointed everybody's expectation. I'm just putting that out there.
Okay, you are right, because he put a strain, Jonathan, that beats the majority of the whole of Nigeria and the world at large. However, that structure that was mentioned, we all see the role it plays somehow, because we're talking about polling units. But I also believe this electoral reform and all that. I think it will give way.
Have I lost you?
To have a better Nigeria. I believe in Nigeria dream, where we are going to. We're able to have a vision, a collective vision, so we can drive this country to a logical, to a place where we ought to be. I want to say thank you so much.
Thank you so much for calling. Lagos, Nigeria. Something just crossed my mind, and I want to run it by your hearing. It's not quite an answer to an unasked question. It's more like, is this a nagging echo of something that could appear to be a piece of the puzzle? And it goes thus. This structure, is it really structure, as you know, structure, say the arrangement of a system? Or is it just having money? Think about it. Because this last caller now is thinking, and in fact, this is the second caller who has raised that concern. I think a few callers before him raised the issue of the PDP is a lot better because at least they're old, they're known, the educated, the uneducated are all familiar with the PDP. That would have been, fix your differences, and then you use the PDP platform to drive or pursue your cause. Well, as if this current reality is anything to go by, the problems in the PDP is as great as the egos that make up the PDP. Believe me, you have to understand that forming another party would have been the last resort. So they just thought, yeah, if we can't quite get through this obstacle of this power tussle within the PDP, yeah, let's just go have our own party. That's usually how it's, I mean, what do you think happened? So back again to this quote unquote structure. Is it really a structure or is it just money? You know, maybe what happens when you play the game of politics is if you have money, even if your hands were tied behind your back, you could move the dice without touching the dice. It's like magic. The sunny side. We're holding to be worthy of notes. My name's Joyce. Welcome to the show. Make it back. Nigeria Info. How are you? Another boys, a new team. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Joyce.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you for being here.
So my name is Amos. So that structure they are talking about, Joyce, is not totally money. All right. So what they mean by structure is having people like big wigs spread all over the country. And if you observe what the APC is currently doing, they are also trying to consolidate on their structure because they understand that in the last election, they lost Kano because of Kwankwaso. All right? So they are trying to find a way to bring him in, make him the vice president so that they can gain Kano because they know Kano has the population. All right? So all these people that are defecting, what APC is doing is that they are looking at where they did not win. So they are trying to get the big wigs from that area to come to them. So that is structure. Now, if with this new party, if the likes of David Mark and other PDP people can come to the new party, that is also structure. Because they too will have their foot soldiers that they will use at the polling unit to work for the new party. And that is why the APC is in panic mood today. Because of what I read last, the hotel they want to do their official declaration. They said they are refunding their money. They don't want them to do it there. Because the APC knows that all these people coming together is a problem for them. All right? So that's what it takes. Thank you.
Thank you. It may not be a problem for Tinubu. You know, that's an old dog right there. This is riveting. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. My name's Joyce. What's your name? Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, good afternoon, Joyce.
Afternoon to you. Thank you for being here.
My name is Emmanuel.
Welcome.
Okay, somebody spoke before and he said that it would have been okay for members of the coalition to use the PDP. I think himself and every other person who thinks so is not giving their mind to the fact that PDP has been taken over by an enemy from within. Okay, PDP now belongs to the main political party in Nigeria. So anybody going to PDP right now is actually going there to defeat himself. Okay, they can wake up tomorrow. The chairman, the secretary, who are actually on the other side, in essence, but who are just in PDP by name, can just wake up tomorrow and say they have expelled you, or they will take you to court, or they will write a letter to INEC to say that okay, they don't want to contest in this election. What will you do? You start going to court, and as you are going to court, you are distracted from doing all of the things you are supposed to do. Now look at the distraction that they have suffered so far, which has made it impossible for them so far to engage the National Assembly to do the necessary things that are supposed to be done. All of the things that were done in 2023 to frustrate the election. Now it is time to start fighting those things to rectify all of those things. But nobody is doing it because they have been so distracted. Something they ought to have done through PDP, they are now forming a new party to do it. So things will be thrown at them from time to time to make sure that they don't get themselves together. But I know that more than 80% of this country will not vote for APC. More than 80%. Even maybe I'm giving them too much. Will not vote for APC. So the coalition should work very hard, pick the best candidate, and before 12 o'clock on that day, you will see that APC is on their way home. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. I do appreciate it. There is nothing wrong with forming a formidable opposition. I think I read this one earlier. Okay, good. Hello, WhatsApp. Thank you so much for writing me. The fact that David Mark is in the coalition gives me concoction. Please, let's stop kidding. He who comes to equity must come with clean hands. I'm not sure what you mean there. Is it that you feel that he is not a credible individual to make up a part of a force, or you think he's not force enough? I'm not even sure what you're aiming at here, but I'm going to probably wait for you to give us some color to our imagination as to what you were trying to aim at here. Good afternoon, Joyce. I'm for the coalition. The people need a venue, a party, political party. The people need strong men as leaders, the Atiku and Obi. The people need strong candidates, that's Obi. The people need collective cooperation, that's a coalition. The people want a coalition. I'm 100% in. I'll support physically, financially, and otherwise. Okay, Nigerian who likes this enough and he is willing to put his money in it. Good afternoon, Joyce. Good day. Every word in the text sent by anonymous listener used in describing Nigerians supporting the coalition is a clear description of who or what Tinubu is. He should have put his name with his full chest. Yeah. Nigerians, I honestly wish you intelligence. I really wish you. I commit you to the light. Because you need it to save yourself from impending danger. You need it to save yourself from the sheer possibility that you can be your own terror. You can be your own tragedy. That you can truly wreck yourself. And every time we say Nigeria, particularly when it comes to the matters that affects everybody collectively, it's really quite foolish to say that if I buy, say, a bag of rice, 100 naira, 100,000 naira, and you buy a bag of rice, 100,000 naira, and you know it will be beneficial for you if you bought it 50 naira, and then I say something like, we need the government to reduce the cost of rice to 50 naira or to 50,000 naira, where I benefit and you benefit. And the most intelligent thing for you to do is to say to me, oh yeah, you're an unpatriotic. You don't like the government. Yeah, it's like, what do you think your kids are going to say about you? What do you think the earth says about you? What do you think the wind says about you? What do you think your God says about you? I mean, I benefit and you benefit. So technically, I am my brother's keeper. But you're not keeping me. You think I want something else other than a situation where I benefit and you benefit. But just so that what? You look like a good person and me, I'm a bad person? That's what you Nigerians do. Somebody's saying, no, there's hunger in the land. You're also hungry, but you mock the person who spoke up. It's like, we hold it to be worthy of note. Welcome to the show. It's open thought. Well, no, it's worthy of note. How are you? Nigeria Info.
Hello, this is Ben again from Tulare.
Good to have you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, you voiced my thoughts by when one caller talked about structure. I was thinking to myself, structure is not physical in the sense which it seems people are talking about. The big wigs in PDP, for instance, have influence. They have foot soldiers. They have machinery in their different quarters, and it is this influence that the party relies on as a whole to get things done. So if these people leave the party with that influence, with the machinery, and whatever it is they contribute to make PDP tick, they can also use those things to make the coalition tick. Let us not also forget that some people, too, do not just like PDP. Well, ADC have not really had much to do or to let people say about them. So it may also be a reason why they decide to go there. But in the end, structure is a question of the abilities of the individuals within the party to now pull together that ability to make things.
What if I slightly object? What if structure is really the people? Because I think what Obi showed us was that if the people want it, they become the building blocks to getting it. Straightforward.
Yes, I would agree with you, but I would also say, where did the structure get us?
I mean, I can understand the necessity of other pieces of the puzzle, but I think it's really a force, a people spirit.
Yes, it's the people spirit. But then again, there's also that extra, do we call it the Midas touch? The Midas touch of the structure. The people are basic, but then there needs to be that exceptional
little dash of some spice.
Maybe the spice now is this collective hunger, because nothing is as spicy as the hunger. People have their hairs falling out. People are losing the waistline. All the fat that they couldn't burn suddenly is disappearing. There's no joy in the eye anymore. Maybe this is the spark we've all been waiting for.
Maybe. I really do believe that the moment...
I'm joking around. I kind of understand what you mean, when you say it needs a little bit of something. Let's see what this coalition is going to do. But don't forget that Tinubu is something. He's not a leftover. He's not a pushover either. So this is going to be an interesting showdown.
Very interesting.
Well, I'm hoping you're glad to be a Nigerian. You should love this one when it plays out.
I'm glad to be a Nigerian of the past. I'm not glad to be a Nigeria of the present. And I'm glad to be a Nigeria of the future that can be great. But I just have to be honest about
Let's see what our faith can earn us. Thank you so much for calling me. I really do appreciate. The sunny side will hold it to be worthy of note. There's a coalition in the air.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon, Joyce.
Afternoon. Thank you for being here.
As regard to all that have been going on in regard to the discussion, it's not that the PDP have something substantial for the Nigeria. They just want, Atiku just want that name as a president in Nigeria. And when you look at the manifestation of what he has done with Obasanjo, he has not been able to represent Nigeria for anything good. The assignment Obasanjo gave to him, he did not score up to 20% good. And Obasanjo said that if we vote Atiku, that is ready to sell Nigeria. That is the total background of Atiku.
So you don't.
Then not only that, he's too old. Let him go. He has with a custom retired officer. Okay. Then he has accumulated a lot of money from custom. What does he want? Now, as regards to Peter Obi, we want him because young people think faster than the old people. The old people are always to avenge for the past mistake they have done that they were not able to, like Mohammed Buhari. What did he do? He was doing circling, appointing old men into strategic position that young boys supposed to run with their sensibility to activate Nigeria. So how can you now bring another old man again that his thinking faculty will be greater than that of Obi? It's not possible. Let Obi continue where he is. We are going to support him. And moreover, the Eastern region has cut away since after the Federal War and Biafra War. So they are part and parcel of Nigeria. We should give them a helping hand to see what they can do. They are manufacturer. They are developer. So let us help them to showcase the glory of God in them in a wider dimension. Rather than West are not. No, it cannot be like that. We should not call them off. They are our brothers and sisters. Wherever Igbo man is, there is a great development. Okay. So if that is a gift to them, let us help them to neutralize it all over Nigeria.
Okay. Thank you so much.
We are going to vote Peter Obi because he's still young. We should not be after old men who are after young girls to have sex with. Continue marrying as regard to Atiku. How many wives did he go when he was a vice president?
You know, he has a right to as many wives as possible. I don't know whether you want to go at him personally. We can just stick with his political capabilities or incapability.
Because the political capability must not be with among women.
He could really brag about that, He could truly just brag about all the wives he has. Because if he wasn't that boy, the women wouldn't be about him.
A king should not have many wives. It's there in the Bible. Or he will forget
the reason why he's why are
king.
you preaching to? I'm sure that guy is Muslim. Why do you care for all the wives he has? The wives are not complaining. You want to complain for them?
When they have money is what they went there for. They are getting the money abundantly.
Yeah, but nothing wrong with going for money, and he has the money, and he's not complaining. Have you ever heard Atiku give an opinion about his wives being gold diggers?
He should not accumulate many women. Hey, you say busy accumulating women, you want to also to vote what a man? I beg.
Problem. Okay. All right. I'll tell him you said that. Sure.
Okay. Thank you, my darling.
Nigeria Info. One of the major reasons Nigeria keeps getting it wrong is saying that the devil they know. They like that nonsensical quote, this is what we know, not what is right or what should be. Listen to the last caller talking about people know the PDP but don't know the new party ADC. Same with Bode George. All he says in all his interviews is our founding fathers. Chief, sir, your founding fathers are dead. Almost all the rest of them are corrupt, have no political value. We need to step out of what we used to know and step into what should be. This is Lucky Ikwese. That's some courage right there. And maybe it's even more faith than it is courage. Yeah, because I think we've done that conversation on the Lords of Logic, haven't we? The devil you know. How does the idiom go? The devil you know is better than the angel you have not seen. I feel like that is such a logical fallacy. I mean, if it's an angel you don't know, the sensible thing to do is to take a chance. Who sticks with the devil? Except you're a devil yourself. So yeah, the angel you don't know is all the reason to get away from the devil. So yeah, I guess Lucky gets a 5-star for that comment right there. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Mr. Saniwe, you don't finish me. I don't feel that.
No, this is not going to be a town call with town criers. Hello, Nigeria Info. How are you? How are you? Welcome. We hold it to be worthy of note. Indeed, it's quite a day. How are you?
Hello.
What?
Can
you speak up for me, yeah?
Okay. No.
What's your name?
The Eagle's Eye.
Imagine. Do you pay taxes, though? Go ahead.
No, first of all, the situation at hand in Nigeria now. Well, I thank those that are coming for coalition. I wish them very well. Mr. Peter Obi, I wish him good luck. But the bottom line is this. If peradventure Peter Obi becomes the president with their coalition, have Nigerians thought of their constitution?
About what? Prostitution? What'd you say?
Yes.
Prostitution?
Constitution, the constitution of Nigeria.
Okay, how does it apply to this concern?
Okay. What they are doing, that constitution does not work with Nigeria kind of politics.
Okay.
A constitution that they for example, you write 9. If you stand on the other side, it's 9. When you turn to the other side, it's 6. When the criminal that call themselves politicians gather themselves with the so-called judiciary, they will stand on the other side. They will tell you that thing is mine. When knowing because it's favoring them on the other side, they will all pack to the other side and they will declare it mine.
Okay.
Even if Peter will be win the election, coming election, they will still form themselves together, just like what they did for the past. I'll tell you that.
So are you asking Peter Obi to not try? Are you asking him not to fight for the people? What are you saying specifically? He should go back to his farm and eat vegetables?
What I'm saying is that what worked for Nigeria from onset, it was even the little benefit that Nigeria has benefit. It was regional rulership. So there is nothing like Nigeria. Nigeria is not working. Nigeria can never work. That is just the truth. Let's face the fact.
Okay.
Nigeria can never work.
Ooh.
Nigeria does not design to work.
I'm going to be off on a break this very moment. You have left us with much to consider. I want to thank you so much for calling me. Nigerians will have to decide if Nigeria will work or not. The sunny side will hold it to be worthy of note. We'll be right back. My name's Joyce.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
This is not just a debate. It's a battle of minds. A clash of brilliance. A war of words. And only one champion.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria.